Love working with the graphics in Canva, but not sure about using audio? Let me show you how to make a lyric video in Canva.
All right, let's make a lyric video in Canva. So we're going to come and do the presentation. We'll come down and we have to decide if we want background elements because we'll set those at the beginning so we don't have to add them later, and we can use how we set it up to place our lyrics. So let's go. And the name of the song I'm going to do is Flying to the Moon. And I found this nice background, which I'm going to right click and set it as a background. And then I saw this cute little astronaut. So I think I'm just going to let him float in space. I thought about doing, putting some other elements in, but I think it might get in the way of the lyrics and the visibility of the lyrics. So I opted for just this plain screen like this. All right, next we're going to look and decide the length of our phrases. And I'm going to go with 2 sentences or 2 phrases so that the rhyming is visible. So let me copy this text and I'm going to put it over here. I'm going to change the font color to white. I could play around with different fonts, but just for the sake of this, I'm just going to leave it there. And I'm going to go with those. And I think they need to be much larger. So I'm going to go ahead and split it up like this. And then I'm going to really make it big. All right, that's pretty good. Now I could try some effects to see if that would help the visibility. That looks a little crisper. No, I don't like that. I think that's a little too much. I'm going to go back to this one. I think this works pretty well. Okay, so that is my slide 1. Now I'm going to click the slide and hit Command D. I'm on a Mac, and I'm going to put in this text back in. There we go. And go ahead and make the new line there, and it's not going to quite fit. So I'm going to go ahead, make the text a little smaller to get it in there. Probably should have done that first. And I'll go ahead and center it vertically and horizontally. Where are my lines? There's that line. There's that one. I'll do the same on this one. And normally I would probably make the fonts the same size. I would go ahead and put this one the same as this one. Okay, fix that, and we're ready to go. My little guy, he can move up. That's fine. All right, so we've decided the length of the phrases. We're not going to do the whole song just to save time. You get the idea of what you're doing here. Now you're going to drop in your music, and here's where we get into some copyright concerns. If you put some music in, it's going to show up as a copyrighted song, and you're not going to be allowed to download the music with your video. But I'm going to show you what to do if that happens. So let's get this over here. So it's these 3 slides that we're working with, and I'm going to go to upload, and I'm going to go to audio, and here is my song, Flying to the Moon. But let me come down here and find a copyrighted song and see if, okay, here's one. It's copyrighted. So now we're going to come down to duration. It's going to show the timings of the slides. So I'm going to pull this here, and I'm going to put this copyrighted song in. And it's going to tell you here that you can't share or download unless you have the rights. If you set your timings to this and set this up, it's going to work fine. You just aren't going to be able to download this music. You'll have the video with no sound. So the trick is just to find an easy way to put sound with it, which I'm going to show you at the end. Okay, so let's go ahead and put the song that I'm going to use, which is not copyrighted. And it's a very long song, but we don't need the whole thing, so it's not going to be a problem. The first trick is to figure out where we need the first slide to appear. Are we going to have the introduction play through the title slide and get there in time to see the first lyric? Where exactly do you want it to begin? So I'm going to go ahead, let it start with the title slide. So let's see where I need to change it. And if you click on the music and you come up here to beat sync and you say display beat markers, it's going to look at where the beats come in here and kind of maybe give you an idea of where it might happen. But let's listen and we'll figure it out. Flying to the moon. Okay, that worked pretty perfectly. I think that you can see 2.5 seconds is pretty good. Now I know I'm going to have to adjust this one, so let's see what that adjustment might be.
Flying to the moon, exploring the stars. Flying to the moon, traveling so far.
I'm going to stop it right there. This one needs to go to about right where that line is. So I'm going to click it there. Perfect. Now the slide will change to the next lyrics.
Flying to the moon, leaving the earth. Flying to the moon, we'll explore the universe.
And you can kind of see that beat marker down there and see that that is a little, the phrase ending before the next verse starts or the next line starts. So I'm going to click over all the way to there. That's where I'm going to want this to go. And this is 11.8 seconds. It's kind of hard to see. It's down there in the bottom left corner. And this is 14.6. So a lot of these are so finely tuned that you're going to find that they're very similar in length. And I did make this one a little shorter and go to this a little ahead of time. And I probably could make them a little bit more equal. I bet if I put them both to about 13 seconds, well, wait, it adds up to 25, 26. Yeah, about 13, it would probably work. And sometimes you can do songs like that. Once you figure out what a phrase length is, you click on these, you come up here, and you can apply to a whole bunch of pages exactly how many seconds it is. And if you need to make minor adjustments, you can along the way. But that's a great tip if you're doing an entire song and you want to do it quickly. All right, well, let's see what we think of this and the changes. So here we go.
Flying to the moon, exploring the stars. Flying to the moon, traveling so far. Flying to the moon, leaving the...
I was kind of watching those beat markers as it went along. It's just pretty amazing. Those are I think by the measure. And so those would come in really handy. Now let's say, let me give you an example of what I mean. Let's say that you figure out that 13 seconds is going to work. Let's move this to 13. Actually, I'll do it this way. And I'll just type in 13 and hit return. And then on this one, I'm going to hit 13 and return. Now, I don't know if this is going to make the changes the way I want.
Flying to the moon, exploring the stars. Flying to the moon, traveling so far. Flying to the moon, leaving the earth.
Okay, that 13 seconds worked. Once you get things started, then you can average the timing for the rest of the measures to make them all consistent. Because nowadays, I'm telling you, unlike some live performances where there might be a little bit of give and take with the tempo, these are all so synced up that it makes it super easy, to the point where if I took this and let's just say I duplicated it and I put a bunch of different slides and I wanted to go twice as fast, I might click this and then I hold down shift. I want to keep one more. I'm going to keep my two originals the way they are. So I've done those, and I'm going to come here and I'm going to go 6.5, and those are all going to shrink to exactly what I need. It's really amazing that something that simple can be that easy. But we're not going to do the rest of it right now. So I'm going to go ahead and take that out, and then I'm going to go ahead and split the audio, and I'm going to get rid of that. And you know what I might do, just for the fun of it? I'm going to click this in place. So it clicked right there at the end of that one to match. And I'm going to come up here to a fade, and I'm going to fade out like a 3-second fade out. So here's what that sounds like.
We'll explore the universe.
Okay, so we're not doing the whole song, we're just doing this. So let's go ahead and export it. So we're going to hit share and download, and we want MP4. And we only want the first 3 pages. So we want 1, 2, 3, and we'd hit done, and it would export that way. If your music is copyrighted, then you're going to just be exporting the MP4 with no sound. So let me show you what you would do if that circumstance arises and you want to pair that silent video with your music. head over to CapCut.com and you can get a free account. I have a pro version and a free version, and this is the free version. And you're just going to come over here to create new, and you have all these options. And we just want this set up right here. And then you're going to click to upload, and it'll take you to your Finder window, and you'll upload your items. I've already done that. Here's my video, and here is the audio. So I'm going to insert the video, and now I'm going to go back and insert the audio. And I'm going to come up here actually and rename it. I just clicked on it and it highlighted it. And then I'm going to come right here. I'm going to zoom out, pull that till it clicks, because I don't need any more than that. And then bring it back here. Now, you can see that my audio is showing some oranges and reds. So if I click on it, it'll open this up with a basic volume, and I can lower the volume and play around with it a little bit. I can fade in and out, do noise reduction. So the real question is it going to make the slide changes correctly? It should, because we put this at the start of where we recorded or saved this video. So let's see what happens.
Flying to the moon, exploring the stars. Flying to the moon, traveling so far. Flying to the moon, leave.
Okay, so that made the change very nicely. If I wanted to adjust something, I could come down here, click on the MP3, and I can slide it. If I need to make a very minor adjustment, put the little cursor thing here and really zoom in, and you can make super fine adjustments to where it's going to start. All right, then you're just going to go to export, and then you have options of the resolution, the quality, so on and so forth, and you would export and you'd have your video. Now, here we are in iMovie, and it's pretty much like CapCut, where all you're going to do is, drag everything in there. And if you have it from the Canva lined up to start, right at the start, and no extra slides at the beginning that you would have to adjust. But if you have to make an adjustment, it's not that big of a deal. So let's load everything in here. So I'm just going to drag it in, and here's the movie, and it has, I'll just detach that audio. There's nothing really there, and delete it. And now I'm going to add the audio. So let's see, I'm going to go to, it's just as easy to do it from the Finder window. So there we are. So here we are. Just pull this right in here. Boom. All right. And then you can adjust these levels easily here. And I can come right here, split clip, and just get rid of that. All right. Now this is interesting because there is a little bit extra here. It probably showed on the other one, but let's take it for a test drive and see how it sounds.
Flying to the moon, exploring the stars. Flying to the moon, traveling so far. Flying to the moon.
Okay, that switch worked perfectly. If it didn't, what you're going to do is you'll just pull on this and adjust it. And to get fine adjustments, your little cursor here, go to your settings and really zoom in. And you can get really exact about what you want to do to move things around, or if you wanted to shorten this, or whatever you wanted to do. And then you're just going to go up to File and Share, File, name your movie, and decide these things. Hit Next, and it will download to your computer. So that's another way that you can do it. All right, let's see if we can put this together successfully in PowerPoint. It's a little bit clunky, but for a simple setup, it can work really, really well. So here is what you would do. You're going to add the video. And there's the one with no sound. The audio. And there it is. Okay. And then you don't want that to show during the playing of it. So you're going to say hide during show. All right, now comes the trick to get both of them to play at the same time. So you're going to go to Animations, Animation Pane, and click one of them and tell it to start with previous. Okay, part of the sequence. And then you're going to click, that was the video, and now the audio, you're going to do with previous. So you want them to come in at the same time. All right, now to check and see if that really has worked, we're just going to go to slideshow and play, and we'll see if they both start at the same time. Here we go.
Flying to the moon, exploring the stars. Flying to the moon, traveling so far. Flying to the moon.
Okay, it worked. The switch came at the right time, so everything worked. So then you're just going to export it as an MP3. You will go up to File. You can't see that on my screen, but I went up to File and then Export. Name it. Come down here and put MP4. You can make some decisions here. Keep that checked. Don't worry about what that says because it gets overridden by the animations. And then you would hit export. Okay, that worked.